Hey everybody, I got some new hammock components to show you today, but first let's have a quick look over here. Here we have the Crooked River Canyon. Down there 2 rivers converge and there's some very cool rock formations and a nice hiking trail. That'll change up from my backyard videos. Alright, so now to the hammock stuff. So here's my hammock. In the gathered ends I have continuous loops that have a diamond knot. Call them these universal loops. They integrate with a Beckett hitch, and they also integrate with anything that has a spliced loop. As you can see here, I'm instantly connected to a spliced loop. The spliced loop is an extension that extends any other suspension piece. Here I have it extending a atlas strap that goes around the tree. The atlas strap is too short, so I have 6 foot of extension onto one of the daisy chains here. And then I have a built-in soft shackle on here for no hardware. Other side of my hammock, I have the same type of loop. Has the diamond knot construction. It's integrated into a sliding extension. So this side of my hammock has an extension on it, but it's an adjustable extension. It works like a whoopee sling. It has a constrictor rope that rides on the main rope. And for the constrictor rope to work with maximum efficiency, it has a very small diameter rope that hangs on the back of the constrictor rope and pulls the constrictor tight via the main line. So this is locked off simply by me pushing on it here, and I can adjust it by grabbing it and sliding it along. As you can see, it will bring the hammock down. And to make it shorter, I just pull on this piece and slide this piece back up. And it's 15 feet long. It uses the exact same amount of cordage as a 6 foot whoopee sling, so it's the same weight with over double the length. The end has a built-in soft shackle. It's going up to my 2-inch wide Dyneema huggers. This setup that I have right now is a perfect example of why soft shackles work, because it's less impact on the tree and less impact on you, and it's a nice leave no trace, because with these soft shackles on the end of my tree straps, I can simply disconnect the soft shackle and pull them off around the tree. I don't have to stand up there in all the brush and feed a loop through. The side with my atlas strap is a perfect example. As you can see, this tree is pretty gnarly. And all I got to do in this situation is undo this soft link, like in my other videos, and then I can just take the strap and walk away from the tree with it. I don't have to stand here and feed a strap through a loop, a strap that's going to get tangled in all this stuff while I stand here and all this stuff gets on my clothes and ticks and ants get on me. So the whole leave no trace thing, it helps me to not get damaged by the tree, and it also helps me to not damage the tree. So I've got my hammock about where I want it. I'm on a very sharp angle, as you can see here. It's not a 30-degree angle, and I did that on purpose to stress test all the components that I've showed you here. This UCR piece, the key thing to know about it is when you lock it off, when you have it where you want it, you just pull this little tail back. And that little tail will grab the main line, and this thing will slip a little bit if you don't milk it like I'm doing right now. But as it slips, this little piece will pull this constrictor part, and this thing will lock on just as reliable as a whoopee sling. So I'll hop in the hammock and show you in action. So here I am staring over the canyon. Got my UCR 15 foot extension on that side. And over here, got my hardware free connections with the diamond knot, the splice loops. And it's extremely reliable. I can spend the night in here if I want. All those soft shackles work perfectly. They work better than a carabiner. And now I'll show you how all the soft shackles work. So here on my atlas strap side, I'm connected with the soft shackle. And I'll show you how that works. So it's using one of these extensions here. So if I was to connect to my atlas strap to one of these loops, normally I would need to take the dog bone and then make a large head by pulling this entire piece through. But with this setup, I'm just taking the splice loop and I'm adding a little evoloop. It's like a little evoloop junior right here. And then when I go around this, this becomes a built-in soft shackle. I have a lark's head here, and then I'm putting the button knot through that loop, and then I close it up like that. So now this thing connects up here like a carabiner would, and I can hang my hammock with this 6-foot extension. And if you look at this and you say, well, this can slide off, I could lose that, I don't want to do that. Well, I have a solution for that. You just take and put the lark's head at the end of the loop like this. So now the lark's head is permanently lark's headed on there, and now your soft shackle noose is right here. So now when you want to use this as a soft shackle, you would just put the knot through here. You might want to get in here and pick these little loops apart, but it's actually easier to just grab these two sides and push them like this, and that will open the loop up. You can put the knot in the loop and then close the loops up, and the same thing, you have a soft shackle. So adding this little evoloop junior to the end of anything that has a splice loop will turn it into a soft shackle in many different ways. And you can also simply put the knot with this lark's head on the end. You can also simply just put the knot in here, and just like before, it's a soft shackle. So that's how we have a soft shackle at the end of the dogbone extension. Now here we are at the hammock end, and this is working like a soft shackle too. I have a spliced loop, and then I have the large knot. And when I connect my hammock to this dogbone, I'm just putting the knot inside of this loop. You may think, well, that's not going to work. Won't the knot go through the loop? It won't, because it's working exactly like a soft shackle with the closing noose. Once you have the knot inside of this loop, it's highly unlikely for it to come loose. And if for some reason you don't trust this, well, you can also go like this, and you can set it up like a soft link. You can pull the loop right here through the two legs of your continuous loop, and then flip that loop over the knot like I'm doing here. There's a little bit of tension on my piece, so it's going slow. Alright, let's pause that and try that. Okay, so here is the dogbone end, and you can simply pass it through the two lines and then go over the knot. And now you've created the soft link connection, and now the security of this connection is highly fail resistant. There's no way for this to come apart unless you physically come up here and flip the knot through once, and then flip the knot through twice before it can come loose. So it's just as secure as a carabiner or a clip, but it's all soft shackle components. So here we are on the other side of the hammock. It's the same thing as the other side. One difference you'll notice, this splice loop is smaller. So I purposely made this UCR portion that rides on the main line have a small loop to integrate with this knot. So that small loop is exactly the size it needs to be ridiculously secure. So to get this apart, I actually have to physically open that loop the right size and then slide the knot through. So this knot and this loop are engineered to interface with each other. And that's how the connection works. And when I slide this along, here's the UCR. It's short so that the distance you need between two trees can be minimalized. One of the things about a whoopee sling is you always have this berry length to deal with. With the berry length on this UCR, and with the short as possible loop right here, I've kept the distance from here to here as short as possible, so you can get your hammock between two trees that are short, that have a short distance from the head end and the foot end. With these extensions that are just 6 foot long and have the loops on the end, also known as dog bones, you can also double them in half like this to create a 3 foot or a 1.5 foot extension. So they do have a degree of adjustability. And one thing that's cool, the carabiner function still works when you double them over. So on one end you have these 2 loops. So just like before, you can take your evoloop and configure it in one of the ways I showed you before. And this end will become a soft shackle. So just like this, and then you would put the button knot, you would just put it through 2 loops, and then this lark's head piece here will slide down and it will hold those loops closed around the knot. And then on the other side of this dog bone, you will also still have the hardware free connection. So here's the other side of the dog bone with it folded over. And as an example of the knot that is at the end of this hammock, we'll use this piece. So here's the folded piece, here's the knot on the end of my hammock. I can take that folded piece and soft link this doubled over dog bone right into it. The soft link is a word I use a lot, but to soft link is just to take a loop of cord and a knotted cord and take the loop through the legs and over the knot and push the knot like this, and you have an instant connection. So with these dog bones like I showed you on this side that are a straight 6 foot long and don't have the adjustable UCR like the other side, you can still double them over and get a really good degree of adjustability and quick connections with the soft links. So that's it. Thanks for watching. It's just a couple new ways to do hardware free extensions on your hammock. Thanks for watching.